Well, good morning, guys. Welcome to Words from a Friend podcast. I'm your host, Marty Carey, and this is the podcast that follows my book, Words from a Friend, a daily guide to a purposeful life. It's available at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. We are on a 365-day inner journey together, so happy and grateful to have you along. We're on day 93 of that journey, and today's message is acceptance of what is. Acceptance of what is. When we finally realize that the purpose of our physical life here on earth is spiritual growth, we will begin to see our daily interactions as either a learning or a teaching experience. We are brought to what we need to know or where we need to grow. Every day, life is the guru, and we are processors of that life. And we can process through different means. We process life through our ego, or we process life through the truth, looking for it in every area of our lives, and whisking out what doesn't serve that truth, what doesn't serve it, what doesn't serve that light within us. That's how we really grow. The darkness is there to be a contrast to that. So we say, okay, I see this. You can see it. I really know. That's not where I belong. I don't feel I belong here anymore. I don't feel I belong in this energy anymore. I don't like living in it within anymore. It's just it's low buzzing stuff. And I want more for myself. I want more. I want to know more about what I have in here so I can express that and give that to the world as my mission of why I'm here. I have a message to bring. I have a message to bring. My life is a message. Your life is a message. Your life is your message. What do you want it to be? What do you want it to be? Well, best thing we can is true. Best thing we can be is true. True to ourselves. True to that light within. Being able to trust it. Trust it so that we move forward with it rather than resisting it with that darkness, resisting it. So life is about balance, my friends. It's about balance. We have both inside. We are dual-natured beings in this 3D world. We have both the darkness and the light in us. We have capability to be either at all times. But what do you want to be? Well, there you go. We're a daily choice maker of that. We're a daily choice maker of which of those paths we're on. And we could fall off, but we get back on and we be more consistent about the path of our light. Well, then you're going to see your garden grow more beautiful. Because you're adding meaning and purpose to everything. You're adding it. You're saying, well, what am I doing here? Am I wasting my precious time that I have here in a bunch of nonsense, chaos, low energy thinking, complaining, whining, moaning, staring at the news all the time, in fear, living in fear? No. No. That's not why you're here. You're here to break out of that. You're here to awaken from that. You can see it for what it is. But when you see through it and you see the cause of what it is, well, it's ego. It's separation. It's separation from knowing that we are the light. Separation from embodying that knowing and living in that knowing. Moving forward in that knowing, in that we're all from the same family. That really changes your course from slave to the system to being in service to the light within each of us. Because what brings the light out of each of us is, we call it remembrance. Remembering that we are indeed that light which we're always seeking to save us. We're all it. We all possess it. We're all breathing it. We're it. That breath that you breathe, that life that is the force that is giving you life right now, is that creative, beautiful light. We're given free will to choose here, aren't we? And we can choose our own downfall many times. We choice make our way to that too. We choice make our way to our own downfall, believing in that lower voice. But when you realize that's the illusion, that's the ego, that's the earthly made conglomeration of experiences and cells and defenses and all that stuff, well, then you can say, okay, I see it. Now I can grow from it. Can't grow from it until I see it, recognize it, accept it, accept it, and say, okay, what do I do with this this garden I've created thus far? I got to weed it out. I got to weed out the weeds, keep the beauty, keep growing and watering the beauty, and keep weeding, and then seeding ahead of myself with that beauty, seeding ahead of myself with that faith, staying out of the worry, staying out of it because it's dead energy. Worry is working against yourself. You can't help it. Oh, I know about worry. I know about it. All right? But I choose faith. And the more you choose it, the stronger it gets. That even if those things do happen, you find, well, I was okay. I mean, it was rough. I went through it. It sucked. It sucked bad. But I still have to climb up and forward. I still have to do that. Because that's what we are. We're spiritual warriors. We walk on. We fall down 7. We get up 8. And we keep moving. So, if you're down, time to get up, baby. It's okay. One little step at a time. One little step at a time till you go, oh, there I am. There's my light again. And now it's stronger because I beat back some crap while I was in there, in that tunnel. I beat back some crap I learned about myself. I said, I've succumbed to a lot of bad habits and things that have just drowned me in guilt and shame and all the stuff that lives in the basement. All the stuff that lives in the basement, right? So we're getting out of that basement. We're learning from it. We're learning from that dirt. We're in it. So there's stuff in there for us, but there's stuff in there for us to grow from. The seed of your light, boom, coming out of there. Woohoo! That's it. The rise. We're all in the rise. We're all in the rise. You're in the rise. Don't ever doubt it. If you're watching this, you're definitely in the rise. So stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with your heart. Experiences that we judge as positive or negative are two sides of the same coin. In other words, they are both here for our benefit. Acceptance of what is the first step towards reaping the rewards of the lesson or messages from the physical experience. There's always a message. There's always a message. You're always sending out a message. Is it conscious? Is it conscious and intentional? Or is it unconscious and your usual stuff that you're not thinking about, that you're not witnessing before you spit it out anymore? It's just old stuff. It's your old ways. It's your old lines, your old scripts. Well, those old scripts keep you in the same play. Do you want to be in the same play? Great. But naturally, we seek growth. We seek personal growth. So new experiences are needed. New experiences are needed for that. So you have to welcome new ones, even if they scare you. You got to welcome them, accept them, and say, okay, here I am. There's something here for me. I must examine it. I must examine it. And you have to examine it with all of your lenses of experience, but then you have to examine it with your intuition, your third eye. See past what's there, what's really there, what's the truth of this situation. Is there something in here that charges me up that says, oh, there's a gift in here. I just see it. I see it. I just have to take advantage of that opportunity. Well, you can only see those opportunities when you are looking. You're looking for the light in everything. That's where the opportunities are. You see a lot of people just walking down the road looking at the ground. You can see from that, it's like, no, that's not where you look. You're staying here, okay? You're thinking of good things ahead. Good things. The best is yet to come. These are the thoughts of the upper mindset. The best is yet to come. We're here on an adventure. We're here on our journey. We're not going to like everything on this journey. We're not going to like everything. But we're still here to bring our light to it and grow from it and share that growth as an example for those around us. Share that growth. You watch your parents grow. When we were kids, our parents were just young people trying to find their own way. That's why we can't, if there was some crap going on then, it's like they were just trying to find their own way, and you can find compassion in that as well as a lot of the resentment and all that other stuff. It's just, they're learning just like you're learning. We're all learning. We're all trying to figure it out, aren't we? Well, the best thing that I've figured after boiling it all down and listening to a whole bunch of stuff of a lot of people saying a bunch of things and listening to my heart and seeing what resonates with truth, it all comes back to that love is truth. Your light is the best way to travel. It is the road less traveled in a world filled with fear, but that is exactly the road that brings the best life to your journey, the most life force to it, the most meaning, the most giving, the most leaving behind of the most important stuff. Okay? You already have it. You're already it. All right? The art of acceptance is one of the greatest tools for personal growth that we have. It is one of the most difficult to master. Acceptance is usually a process for all of us, especially when we lose a loved one, lose a job, or go through a breakup. In these cases, our personal process kicks in, and that could be our default process, to the ego, to fear. Okay, so that's not where you want to be. Okay, you want to be in compassion for yourself, in love, and saying, I will find the way forward. I am not alone. This is just a detour. I'm where I'm supposed to be, and that is the way I will see it. And I will trust that God has the best path forward for me, because I've made a tough choice. I've made a move. I've said, okay, God, I'm kind of jumping off a cliff. So you're the wings. You're the wings of this new journey, because, my apprehensive human self wants me to stay in comfort, wants me to stay in knowing everything, even if I hate it. It's still comfortable, more comfortable than the unknown. Well, no, don't do that. The unknown has more waiting for you that you'll be so glad you said yes to, that you don't ever give that up. Don't ever give that up. New doors, my friend. They're always there. It's just how far you want to go. It's just how far you want to go. God says, okay, this is what you want to do. I'll show you how to get there. I'll show you how to get there. You have to be committed. You have to stay true. You have to stay motivated when you're completely unmotivated. You have to rest, reassure, get back up, move forward. That is it. And we can do it because we are warriors. When we become warriors of our light, that's it. That's it. Game over. Game over, fear. Game over. I feel you. I see you. But you're just an illusion. I'm just going to blow past and do what my heart says I can. Do what I'm hearing inside that I can. Because that's what the Spirit is telling you, that you can. God's not in there judging you. No. Unconditional, baby. Unconditional love wants to guide you and lead you from those old paths that keep bringing you down. But you've stayed comfortable in them. Kick them out. Kick them out and trust. Trust that the breath of life is going to show you the way. It's all it wants to do. It's for you. It's just for you. You have to take advantage of that and not listen to the liar, the liar within that we all possess. We will all cause ourselves to suffer way too long. Sometimes we train ourselves to so well to suffer that it becomes our go-to. It becomes our go-to. Brrr, right to the basement. Like you watch the Antiques Roadshow and they have the one price, and then 10 years later the price goes brrr. You're like, oh man, I thought it was going to go up, but but that's the thing. You can take yourself there. You can take yourself there as your natural. When this happens, I do this. Well, you can change that. You can absolutely change that. It takes practice, but you can stop yourself and say, this is what I used to do. I used to just let myself sink, in self-pity, in martyrdom, in powerlessness. Sink into powerlessness. Well, you can't do that because you are the power. You have the power. God is that power that's breathing you right now. So don't lose it. Can't really lose it. You're always it in all of eternity. So you wake up to that truth here. And that's your giddy up. That's your giddy up. Truth is your giddy up. The truth shall set you free. The truth shall set you free. Set you free from what? Set you free from your ego and set you free from the caring what other egos think about you. Okay? That's freedom. That's freedom, right? Living in this shell. You're not living in guilt and shame. You're saying, I have been forgiven for all that crap. I am living anew. I'm going to live anew. I'm going to spread my light. I'm going to be calm. I'm not going to have to overdo anything other than be myself and bring the best of myself to everything in life. It's the best you can do. That's it. But learn what that is, because you have a best that increases over time in there. The more you travel that road of light, the more your best gets better. It's natural. That's what growth. That's what growth happens. It's not something that you have to necessarily work at. It's a choice. It's a choice to be who you really are in all of eternity. So it gets easier, and then you go, oh my God, that other clutter I was carrying around. Ooh, what I believed about myself before. I treated myself like garbage in my mind. Good Lord, thank you for finding me and helping me to find you again. And that's it. That's what happens. All right? The ability to not only handle what is, but to master what is emotionally is the realm of our higher self. In times of loss, we choose faith instead of falling. We choose forgiveness instead of revenge. And we choose to rise above the small voice of defeat with the voice of truth. I can. I will. I'm committed. I'm committed to the light, and the light will guide me. Forth from this seeming disaster, the light will guide me forward from this. I don't have to know how right now. I don't have to know how. I just have to know that it's there. And then that peace, I will rest. I will rest in that knowing that I don't have to know it. I don't have to know it all. One step at a time. That's all we do every time. That's all we do every time. We fall down 7, we get up 8. That eighth step is just going, yes, I'm rising again. Here I go. I'm doing it again. You son of a bitch and ego, I'm up again. You may never be quite the same, but the truth is that we never truly lose anyone. It's just a temporary separation. All right, so the loss of someone, temporary. All right, and they are at peace, and they are full smiles where they are. Full smiles, and helping you to remember you so that you can live better while you're here, and you can have a better journey while you're here, and pass that baton of love and beauty to those that come after you. Just by your beautiful example of saying yes to learning about your light and growing and embodying it. Okay. Loss of a loved one is at the top of the list for accepting of what is. Everything below that should be much easier to handle, but it can really, it can be the same. Everything's relative to where you are inside, you know. Something small can be disastrous depending on how long you've been living in that fear, right? Or growing up in it, that you're walking on eggshells because of an angry parent or whatever that may be. Eggshell living. Yeah, I know. It's anxiety. Eggshell living. I know about that. All right? This is the book I had to write to get myself off of the eggshells and onto solid, beautiful, grassy, sunny grounds that I keep going back to every time those eggshells want to reappear. Okay? So it's practice. It's nothing is overnight. But look how long it took you to get to collect all the garbage we've collected. So we make it easy on ourselves. We have compassion for ourselves, and we don't have to take big gulps. We can nibble at it every day. Small steps, every interaction. Doing our best to bring our great thoughts to it. Gratitude. Gratitude for the situation. Gratitude for the fact that we have life, air in our lungs, and places to go. People that love us. Okay? Simple, walking in that, knowing. And everything else is just like, oh yeah, but this. Oh yeah, but that. Oh yeah, but this. Right? The monkey mind. Okay? Calm confidence. Centeredness. That's the gift you give to yourself. You are not necessarily, let's see. I'm sorry. This is what causes us needless suffering, anger, disappointment, and low energy experiences. We are meant to feel our feelings. We're meant to feel them all. And only that way we can really learn and look in there and say, what are they telling us? How can I express this differently than letting that anger take me over? What can I learn about myself that's beyond that, that's higher than that anger, that quells that before it ever gets there? That's it. That's God. That's the unconditional love. I'm telling you, it's all in there, what your response is to be to all of it. When I wrote this book, it was my response to what my ego was saying to me. It was my response that day when my depressed self was, the monkey mind was going. I was doing nothing but problem thinking. Problem thinking. Burt in the basement I was. And then I heard a voice that said, you just sit down and write the truth. because I had been in personal development stuff for myself for years before that. And so I thought I'd had it in the group, but then I think God decided to test all of those things for me. Test them all. Okay, these are all just concepts. Now you're going to have to live it and talk about it while you're in it. And that will be your way out. And that was my way out. And it became a book that I didn't expect it to be. And every day I was writing the opposite of what that shit-eating ego was telling me. Those low thoughts, I was writing the opposite. Acceptance of what is was just one of those days. And I accepted that it was there. But I'm writing the opposite because that's where I'm going. That's where I've decided I'm going to live. I'm going to live there. Okay? And that's where I wanted to get back to. But I wanted to do it. See, God made me use those words and put them into actual embodiment. Actual embodiment in practice. Going, oh man, God, I feel like shit. I feel like hell. Where did you go? Where are you? All of that. Had all of those thoughts. But there I am. Well, God says, you're it. You're it. I've already put it in there. Now, use that. Use that. Use what you've learned. Use what I brought you to. Use what I brought you to, and you were a diligent student. Now it's time to go beyond student. Now it's time to embody it so that down the road you can teach it and you can share it with others, which is what happened. Okay? So don't, that small voice in you that's saying you can, that is actually the biggest voice that you are. You are that big voice. So you discount the other one as complete foolishness when it says you can't. Well, you're not big enough to do that. You don't have what it takes. Laugh at thee. Laugh at thee. And get up. And get up. And do it. Yeah? Just do it. And it will start to pull you as you've made that decision. You are not necessarily agreeing with these situations we come in. You are accepting that it has come to you, and that instead of your normal reactionary response, you choose to use your higher power to solve, move past, ignore, or forgive the situation. When you decide to stop overreacting to the smallest of slights, attitudes, and disappointing news, or any other challenges, you have chosen the best and the fastest path forward. Staying in your true power requires this self-mastery. Like those monks. They stay in it. They're in it. People could be saying stuff to them from afar if they were saying negative things. Who would ever say negative things to a monk? But if they did, they would chuckle inside. They're saying, you just haven't discovered who you are yet. And I send you light and love. And I send you light and love. Well, that's the thing that we have to do because, they say, God says, bless your enemies. Bless your enemies because you want everybody to come into the light and remember so we can stop the nonsense. There you go. I pray for remembrance for you. All those people you don't like, okay, you don't have to like them, but still pray for the remembrance inside of them because they're tortured in there somewhere with past conditioning, just like we are, just like we all are. In some way or fashion, we all have. We're all broken in some way or another, right? Because of it, because of this density, this place, this third dimension. So what do we bring to it together? Well, we bring unity. We bring oneness. We bring the truth. We bring the truth so that everybody rises into it and says, okay, I don't care who you voted for. I don't care. That doesn't even matter anymore to me in this higher thing. All that stuff is gonna take care of itself because light is just going to shine a light on it. And so my advice to you is get moving in creating the new way rather than trying to fix the old way. Fixing the old way. Just create anew. Create anew. Spread your light. That's your biggest job here. The one that trumps all of it. The one that trumps all of the other stuff is that simple knowing and that simple giving.